Hello viewers and welcome to my new video. In today's video I'm going to be talking to you and showing you a new piece of software that has been released out there, and it's called Session Studio, and this piece of software has been created by three Swedish gentlemen, namely Niclas Molinder, Martin and Bjorn Ulvaeus from ABBA. Yes, the same Bjorn from ABBA. And actually, this piece of software is specifically designed to capture all the necessary information directly whilst you are working on your songs. So it's brilliant for sort of time stamping. So for example, if you have your project on the go and the moment that you start working on it, you can sort of register it there. You can also invite collaborators, so you can invite other people to work with you on a song, and you can also have different sort of set of your splits with your other songwriters. You can work on lyrics in real time. You can actually work on music, I believe, also in real time. And you can also apply all the credits to any musician, including all session musicians who have taken part in that song. Okay, so this is a brilliant initiative, and it's a relatively new initiative as well. I think it was released last year, 2023. But when it comes to this series that I'm making now about how to be able to make money from music, so effectively from the love that you put your heart and your energy and everything into making music, for example, then when that music is out there and released, then you want to kind of be able to capitalize somewhat and profit somewhat from the fact that people are enjoying it and they're listening to those songs, right? So this is like a really useful tool, I believe, and I'm sure that it will be sort of expanding more and more. Just to tell you from my knowledge, I think that there are talks with like the most of wider music industry as well about how to connect, so basically it will be hopefully connected to various different platforms as well, such as music distributors. I think it's already connected to SoundCloud, and I think you can publish your music directly to SoundCloud from there, but I think also TuneCore was going to be added to this, and this is something I'm gonna be checking. Now today is actually the very first time I've actually downloaded this onto my computer, and I'm going to be testing it out. So I thought that I'd take you on a journey with me. I'm going to share my screen. You can actually see in real time what I'm doing and what that actually looks like. So I'm going to have some initial thoughts, initial demonstrations, initial observations, and if I haven't managed to cover something in this video, I will make another video in the future just to add more information to it. But for now, this is just an initial look at the software. And also, just to put that into context, the software is actually cloud based, so this is how all that information sharing and the working on the song is shared with your collaborators. Okay, so I'm already logged on, and I've only just created my account, so effectively I haven't done anything yet, but I'm just going to try and set myself up step by step, and I'm going to show you that process. So first and foremost, what they want you to do is add a song. Okay, so new song, and you can actually upload a recording here. So you can actually set it up as it being in creation, pitchable, hold, or released. So this particular song, what I'm going to do just for the purpose of testing this out, I'm going to put a released song. Okay, and they say that you can actually upload a recording here from your computer. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. So the song I'm going to be uploading is called Happy Day, and this actually has some collaborators on it, so I'm going to use that. Now, type of audio, I'm going to call it a master. You can actually add some notes to this as well. This song was released in February 2022. Okay, now what they say here is you can make this file private. What this means is that you are not allowing access to this song by other people effectively, but for now I'm just going to upload it. I think you can I think you can change those settings later on anyway. Okay, so that file has been uploaded. Great. So I've got the size, duration, everything already, sort of date. Let me see what I can do. Okay, I can actually edit it, download it, add to playlist, and so on and so forth. So there's a few things that you can do with that song. Okay, so for example, when it comes to lyrics, this is really interesting because you could actually start collaborating with somebody on the lyrics against that song. Okay, so possibly you could be writing some lyrics and actually inviting other people, I believe, that can come in to the session and actually in real time they can update the lyrics, and that gets sort of time stamped, and you know who has actually been working on that song together with you. Okay, so this is a pretty cool feature. Now I'm not going to save that. Okay, so then we've got credits. Okay, so this is really, really cool because I believe, and this is again just me learning about it for now, that you can add a credit. You can add another person who has actually contributed or worked on that song. Okay, so this says basically adding a credit, ensure that everyone involved in making the record gets the credit they deserve by scanning the QR code. Alright, so what this actually does is, let me just actually click this, add credit, and I believe that you can send or share that QR code, and the other person at the other end, and if they have the app on their phone, they can simply scan the code and use it that way, So, or you can send them a link, I think, via email as well. So that's kind of how it works. That's my understanding, okay? So you can add someone manually. You can add another artist. You can add a performer. You can add a songwriter. You can also add a producer, engineer, mixer, mastering engineer, and so forth, and so on and so forth. Okay. Let me see. So, right. So you can effectively, you get that sort of QR code generated for this as well. So you could have other musicians. So you can effectively add anybody here that needs to be added to that session. So you can find these people. You can either find them or you can add them manually, which is effectively what I'm doing now. So if somebody is already registered on the platform and has an account, I believe that they simply can, once they receive the code or whatever, they can join that session and it adds them sort of automatically, and that's all it takes really. So as you can see, there's various options here. You can put them a role, assign them a role rather, so you can do a musician, a contributor, performer. You can select an instrument. Look, animal sounds, a bicycle pump. Look, everything is basically here already for you. So you can put all these different contributions on, the location where this was actually recorded, where the work sort of took place, and I think that's it. I think the performer IPN will be international performer number. So these types of numbers can be acquired when you register yourself with all these bodies like PROs, like I told you before in my other video. And I suggest, if you haven't watched it already about the PRS, for example, and PPL in the UK, I would encourage you to watch that also, because that gives you a lot of information in terms of how to get those numbers for yourself, as an artist, as a musician, as a performer, or a songwriter. Okay, so this is how this works. This is really interesting. So you can add as many credits as you wish, I believe, to the song. What else you can do here? You can do splits. So this is slightly different from a performer. So the credits should be there. So for instance, if you are one of the people who have performed on this record, so you might be the songwriter, or you also might be the musician, or one of musicians who have performed on this record. So you can be both in credits and in splits, I believe. So the splits are just reserved for songwriters, for composers, for lyric authors, for songwriters. So at the moment, I could generate a new split. So again, at the moment, there are no songwriters. You have no credited songwriters. So I think, okay, that makes sense. So I think first and foremost, you need to add people to the credits, and then you do the splits. I believe that's kind of how this is going to work. So this is really interesting. So for instance, if I add myself to this, and as a songwriter, then I can then add myself in splits. Now I haven't fully set up my account yet, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to add myself right now. Is because I still need to add all these other numbers. Now I will show you how this is done in a minute, but for now I just wanted to show you, give you like a brief overview really of what this looks like. Okay. So then what you've got is those splits. So you can add a split. So I'm not gonna make these changes for now. You can see that you can add splits. So if you had multiple songwriters, for example, on a song, you could add multiple splits. Okay. Now, access. So at this moment in time, I believe that you can invite people. But you can also I think you can invite people, but you can also sort of make it a different access for different people. So for example, if you had a session musician, you don't necessarily need to give them access to splits and to everything else. Okay, so I believe you can manage that access that way as well. So let me just cancel out of that, and then the details. Right, okay, so you can do the is there an alternative title, artist, what genres? So let me just see, going back, of course I've got the title here because it's the song that has already been released, but if I wanted to add an alternative title, I could do an artist, I can do genres, select the genre. So again, search. So this is like a full list of genres under here, effectively. That's kind of, this list is really extensive. And then you can do you can actually even do a key signature, time signature, tempo, language, whether this song has explicit lyrics or not, duration, creation date, which is really important. and the studio location, right? So this information is incredibly important, because because for instance, like, I'm going to tell you this, you may be recording these songs, for example, on PPL, if you own your masters, and you might be recording like so, but the moment that you start these sessions, or the moment you have written that song, actually, this is really key, right? Because, for example, if you have written a particular song at a particular time, and then someone else wants to claim, oh no, I wrote that sort of song that sounds very similar or whatever, well, there you have a proof again here. This is my creation date. This is when I created that song, when I wrote that song, yeah? So you can basically start utilizing this platform for those purposes as well. And you can actually put the studio location, so where you've recorded it, and you can add any notes that you may wish to add to this particular, against this particular song. Now, I'm going to just show you what you need to do in order to fully set up your profile, in order so that it picks up all your information effectively, okay? So let me just go to my profile, and what you can see here is, you can see that I've got these basic details initially. So my IPI number would be my songwriter number that I've got with PRS, okay? So in order to do that, you need to be already registered with PRS for music. For example, if you are in the UK. Now, if you are in the States or in Canada or somewhere else, for example, in Europe or wherever else, you will have your own performing rights organizations with whom you will need to register yourself as a songwriter, for example, yeah? So if you've done that, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go on my PRS for music account. I'm just going to log in to this quickly, and I've got my IPI number, my membership number, which is effectively my IPI number as well. And what I can do now is copy that number, go back to this session here, and I can add an API number. So look, I can select the society as well, which is really cool, yeah? So there's all these societies here, but I can go for PRS. I can put that, my first name, my last name, in here, and I can add it. Right? So now that's effectively been added for me. So it's a default number now, okay? So what this means is that now you will be recognized by your unique IPI number. There's only one IPI number per songwriter, okay? So this is only related to you, okay? So you can do contact details. You can add your address. So these are the things that are sort of required, and you can save those details. Now let me have a look at the ID. So you've got your ID or ID number, your received credit. So, if you haven't been obviously registered here, then you wouldn't have any of that. But once you start building your library and you start collaborating, working on songs with other people, with other artists, then I'm sure that eventually you will have, obviously you have built up those credits here as well. You have your connections. So there you go, you see? So you can actually, this is really, really cool, because look, now you can actually distribute it directly via TuneCore, right? So this is pretty cool actually, and you can do it that way. So I'm actually currently with TuneCore as my distributor, so I believe I could actually connect TuneCore to here, and that's how I can do my releases. So let me just see if I can actually connect it now. Let's see how that works. So I click connect, because I can log on from here to my TuneCore account. Okay, so I've entered my password and everything, and now it's asking me to authorize access to my account from Session Studio. So they're asking the following permissions: view your TuneCore account name, email address, artists and releases, create artists and releases in your TuneCore account. Okay, so I'm just going to say allow. And there you go. And I have been, my TuneCore account has been now connected with Session Studio. That was really easy. And I can always disconnect it. I've got that option here if I wanted to do that. Now, representatives. Again, you could add here your publishing and management information. So if you have a publisher, if your songs are managed by a publisher, you could enter that publishing information into here. So again, deliver your songs. So send songs and submit label copy to music industry partners, including record labels, and we collect the data in an industry approved format to save you switching platforms and moving files around. So this is really helpful as well. So this is it for today, for this video today, because like I said, this is just a brief overview, and I've only just today, first time I've opened the session to find out actually what this all looks like. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. Have a go at it, create your own account if you so wish, have a play around. When I've started working with it ongoingly and I've created a bigger library of all the new songs that I'm currently working on, I'm going to share more information with you, because I will be able to basically show you more sort of in-depth how things are done. But for now, thanks very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video.